Hi everyone, it's your boy Vidz in the house, and I'm here with Shaykh Atabek, the one and only. Thank you so much for coming along.
It's lovely. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
It's absolute pleasure. So one of the things that we're going to talk about with Shaykh Atabek is the question of Islamic State and Muslim identity in Western countries. We hear a lot nowadays that, when you hear young Muslims who say that, we want an Islamic State or we want Sharia law, whether it's in this country or whether it's back home, Pakistan, Saudi, Egypt, and whatnot. And there's a sort of a conflict between the identity. On one side, they're Western, they speak English or French or whatever it is. They have their lives here. But at the same time, they're aspiring for something else. So my question is, do we need an Islamic State? Do Muslims need this?
Obviously now you are hitting on quite painful maybe places in the body of Muslim nation in our time, because this question has caused a lot of bloodshed, and it will carry on causing much more. So for example, since Rasulullah ﷺ passed away, this was one of the questions over which millions of souls have been disposed for free. And some of these souls, they were very precious. Ali, for example, Abu Bakr, poisoned. Top people, and for example, people even during the time of Bani Umayyah and after that in the Abbasi period, rebelling, claiming for the trying to get the Khilafah back, because if we think properly, based on the conditions which jurists have established in entire history of Islam, we had very small, maybe 2 or 3 decades of a period which could be called as Khilafah.
Right. So it's almost an anomaly, if anything.
Yeah. Okay, so even, for example, these 30 years of Khilafah, it is called Khilafah because of single chain narration.
Right.
But if you implement the principles of the Fuqaha, even within that 30 years, you may question few years.
Okay.
To be the Khilafah. Okay? But the rest of that over 1,400 years, we lived out of Khilafah. Understand? And what is the Khilafah? Khilafah, it is a concept which is established by the latest Athari Fuqaha jurists. Okay? So...
when was this? Like, in terms of time, how long after do you think?
Obviously, it's going to cause quite a big, you can say, panicking in the media if I will mention. So, will you excuse me if I do not mention it?
Okay, sure.
But it is within the first, what is called like a blessed generation. Within the first 3 blessed generations.
The Tabi'in, is that?
Within the first 3. I'm not mentioning
either
Tabi'in or Atba' Tabi'in.
Okay.
It includes the Sahaba also.
Okay.
But I don't want to go into that because I know it will cause a lot of panicking, etc. So anyway. We Muslims now, we became more like reactive, not proactive. So people, Islamophobes are criticizing in some certain field, so we go and defend that field. Why do we need it? Let's take it down. Let's destroy everything and take it down to the foundation and rebuild everything. Okay? So then we find out that lots of concepts, including Khilafah, all of that is innovated by stories, which most of them are either misquoted from Rasulullah or misunderstood.
Right.
Understand? But what is the main thing? The foundation is Quran. What does it say in Quran? That is the most important thing.
So, just so we're clear, you're saying that the idea of an Islamic State or a Khulafa is that if I'm a Muslim, do I have to believe in this?
No. It is based on single chain narrations. Okay?
So for those Muslims who maybe feel like it's part of who they are, it's part of their identity, like they have to defend this, whether it's intellectually or make it happen physically. You're saying you don't have to do that?
No, never. Okay. Look, for example, what do you think about Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam? We believe in him as one of the messengers of God. Okay, but where did he live, and what was his position where he lived?
He was working in the.
He was Minister of
Finance,
Economy.
Yeah.
In which country? In ancient Egypt.
which is a non-Islamic whatever kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with any of the. You understand? So even if you go back to read what is, the architecture which is left, maybe you may read through it some certain pagan messages in there, worshipping some maybe the stars, etc.
In
Egypt, ancient Egypt.
Okay,
So means Prophet Yusuf, he was minister of finances in, you can say, a non-Khilafah state.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So maybe if there would be some of the contemporary Hizb ut-Tahrir Ikhwanis in that time, definitely they would call Yusuf alayhi salam as sellout. You just tell me, for example, in America, Minister of Economics, pretending to be Muslim, what Muslims would say about him? Sellout.
Well, either say the same about Sadiq Khan, the mayor of London. Why are you joining this kufr system? If anything, I mean, whether you like Sadiq Khan or not is irrelevant. But the fact that he is contributing or trying to contribute to society is a good thing,
Exactly.
Instead of celebrating that, they say, "Oh, this is a sellout,"
First of all, I don't know about this Sadiq Khan. I'm not into the politics. Okay, but if I would read through the biography, maybe I would comment. Okay, but one thing we should not forget: human will remain human. According to the Ash'aris and Hanbalis, even prophets can commit major sin.
Really?
Yes. Okay. Hanbalis go to the point of I don't know if you maybe afterward, if you want to cut it, you can cut it. But Hanbalis go to the point of saying that. Do you remember the story of Yusuf alayhi salam and Zulaykha?
Where the woman wanted to.
Yes. Do you know what do they mention? They mention that both were naked. Yusuf alayhi salam sat in between the legs. Both were naked.
Wow.
So they.
I had no idea.
Exactly. So what is Yusuf? Yusuf alayhi salam is one of the glorious prophets. So if they allow that about the prophets,
then we're nothing. Forget about
nothing.
it. Yeah.
Do you understand? So that's why being critical about some, for example, Muslims working in, for example, politics. Okay, even though politics is quite a dirty game
for everyone, all religions, all races, all countries.
But like criticizing them for that, it is baseless because Yusuf alayhi salam was there in the politics. Okay, Prophet Dawood alayhi salam. So all of them, you understand somehow. So that's why just by catching some Muslim working in in some parliament maybe. Okay, he's MP of Labour Party. He's kafir. No, let's not do that. Okay, so if you guys, Atharis, I'm not Athari, I'm Qur'ani, Hanafi. So if you guys, Atharis, are accepting the possibility of major prophets committing that low things,
I can't believe that.
So then what do you think about us?
Yeah.
So MP is not a prophet.
Yeah, he's nothing. Yeah.
Do you understand? This, for example, this Pakistani MP, for example, in Batley, he's not a prophet. So then why are you so critical about him? Do you understand?
Yeah.
So instead of criticizing, so maybe you should go and maybe you should suggest something.
So this leads on to the next question, is that you said that this idea of an Islamic state is from a single chain narration.
Mainly, yes.
Mainly from a single chain. Yeah. And based upon that, they've made this whole narrative that we need to create this and we need to fight for this and this state isn't good enough. Yeah. And there are people that even go, especially within the Dawah scene, that they sort of want this country to become a Sharia, a Muslim country. They want the laws to be Muslim. I mean, what do you say to those kind of people? Because they create the most anxiety within the non-Muslim people. And even when I look at them, when I was Muslim, I was like, guys, you're doing a very bad job of doing a sort of PR job for Muslims. You're making us look like we're going to take over. We're only here because we want this to be Muslim. We have no love for the country itself. We just have to take over and destroy parliament and whatever it is. What do you say to those people who want this to happen?
One thing is quite important. It's again the same point. We have to take any issue related with the religion to the foundation, and foundation is Quran. Okay, so for example, Prophet Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. Okay, so he was in the country called ancient Egypt again. Okay. So it was kufri according to what we call now, and even then it was kufri. Okay, more than that, there was injustice. Justice is the foundation of Islam, as Quran states. Okay, so Musa alayhi salam, he was not forbidden from living in Egypt.
Yeah.
Okay, but what was his main concern? His main concern was to stop the injustice. And when it did not happen, Allah ordered him to leave, but not to battle there, to take over.
Right.
So why to not to learn from that?
That's a very interesting point.
So if you are living in Kufri state, and what is the meaning of Kufri state? For example, minorities are humiliated. I am brown, because of that I'm humiliated. So according to Quran, if you are authority, as Prophet Musa listened, because he was respected by a royal family, isn't it? So if you're authority, try to help the situation.
Yeah.
Okay, bring the attention of the media about this injustice. Try to solve it. Okay, carry on banging the doors until you get a law, okay, which is protecting the minorities.
So, if anything, he's asking to be part of the political system and make the change from within.
So exactly what Musa alayhi salam was ordered to do,
Yeah.
to get involved and to protect the minority.
So, this idea that a kufr state or so would you say that many Muslim countries fall into that category?
According to, it is, you are dragging me to another complicated issue, because I'm Hanafi, so we are slightly different to the Atharis.
Okay.
Atharis means Malikis, Shafi'is, Hanbalis, Ja'faris, all of them are Atharis. Okay, but we are a bit slightly different. Okay, we are Quranists, so that's why kufr for us, it is what exactly Allah says in Quran to be kufr. But what theologians mention, or what single chain narrations mention, so if it is consistent with what Quran is saying, so we accept it, or else we say that is either misquotation, or either that was mitafa, or it was in some certain context, but then it was taken out of the context.
So, just so we're clear, this idea of an Islamic state, I mean, you mentioned that there were only like maybe 10 or 20, 30 years where this actually happened in history.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, I'm from Pakistan originally, and there are many Pakistanis in the UK, and there are many people who say, well, we want an Islamic state. If you had the option, like if you had like a magic wand, and you could create Pakistan in any country, or Pakistan or any other Muslim country, in any shape or form, would it resemble like an Ottoman Empire? Would it resemble like a Western democracy? What would it resemble? What would it look like?
In terms of the Ottomani Empire, I'm not very familiar with the history, and history for me is just I don't trust the history. Okay, because for example now there is war in Yemen, and everyone is saying different thing. So if we are not sure about what's happening in there right now, so do you think we'll be sure about what was happening? You understand? So it's quite. But anyway, what people think about Ottomani Empire now, I would say Ottomani Empire, it was quite mild.
Mild in what sense?
Mild in terms of oppression.
Right.
There was not a lot of as it was in Abbasid, because Abbasids, they used to kill us Hanafis, they used to hate us, except the Athari Hanafis. They were respected. Okay, for example, Al-Qadir Billah, very famous crazy guy, Khalifa. Okay, do you know this Ghaznawi, Mahmud Ghaznawi?
Oh yeah.
He's very respected, because Atharis respect him a lot, but we dislike him. So Qadir Billah, because Mahmud Ghaznawi was exactly in the same time. So they have burnt us, they have tortured us, and they have destroyed us. So Hanafis.
Even Muslims, they went after Muslims.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So if you had a magic wand, you could create change any Muslim country, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Pakistan, their political system. Would it resemble Western democracy, or would it resemble something else? In
terms of Western democracy, right now I'm seeing it. I like quite a lot of part of it, but there are some certain issues. They are not doing really well, to be honest. Okay, for example, I am for the reproduction. Reproduction is important for the human. Understand? Okay, they do not show a lot of importance for that. That's not right. Okay. And also, in terms of the minorities, they are not getting what they deserve.
Okay.
In the Western European thing, and minorities, it does not mean that glorifying only one minority by stepping on the rest.
Okay.
Understand?
Okay.
We are all equal.
So if you could create a country, it would have, you could say, loosely based on some sort of liberal democracy, like individual rights.
Yeah.
You respect, people can be whatever religion they want, whatever kind of faith they want to belong to.
Yeah.
And the importance of protecting minorities.
Yeah.
That would be, and would you say that the person leading that country only has to be Muslim or has to?
No.
Okay.
So leader should be one of the people, local people. He should follow that thing, the culture and the religion which they are following in that land, or else it will cause further friction.
So if it's like, can it be atheist, Hindu, Christian, or anything?
If the people of that land, then definitely the leader should be one of them.
Okay.
And even if it is Muslim, so it is compulsory upon him to hide it, because do you know we have animalistic behavior, except very noble people, and they're very small in number, 1 in 10 million.
Yeah.
Understand? But we have that animalistic mentality. Just put one chick, not the chicken, but chick. Okay. A brown one between yellow ones. They will kill. So we share the same thing.
Wow, that's interesting. So even if you're a Muslim and you're in power, you should not maybe.
Let's suppose that if tomorrow if I would be elected to be Prime Minister in the UK, definitely it would be compulsory upon me to hide it, because definitely it will create a friction. It will cause bloodshed and mess.
So you say, but then so then I'm playing the devil's advocate. Someone will say you're doing taqiyya.
Sorry?
Someone could say that you're doing taqiyya.
This concept of taqiyya.
I know. But I'm just saying that the
concept of taqiyya, it is good, but it is bad also. But good where you have to avoid the bloodshed and mess. You have to do. It's not permissible for you to speak out the truth. Do you understand? So do you remember, for example, again, let's go back to the foundation. So do you remember when Musa alayhi salam went for Mi'raj?
Yeah.
What happened behind him? They were worshipping the golden calf.
Yes.
Prophet Harun was there. Why he did not stop all of these, Wahhabis or kuffar, behead them, Allahu Akbar. Why he did not do that? So Musa alayhi salam asked him. He said, "Awasayta amri? Did you betray me?" So Harun alayhi salam responded, he said, I was afraid that they were killing me, and I was afraid that it will cause shiqaq, friction between them, disagreements and friction which will lead for the bloodshed. So that's why I kept silence. I just left them doing whatever they're doing. Do you understand? So learn from it. Prophet is doing that. And Musa alayhi salam did not say, oh, you are also one of them. The one who is silent for kufr is also kafir. And Allah did not comment on it, saying, go and kill him. You understand? God affirmed what he did was right. Musa alayhi salam affirmed what he did was right.
Interesting.
And then Musa alayhi salam, what did he do after that? As a comment to the response of Harun alayhi salam, Musa alayhi salam said, Ya Allah, me and my brother were not responsible for what they have done. You understand? So he did not say, Ya Allah, I'm not responsible for what my brother did,
Oh, he didn't blame him, yeah.
So means what Harun alayhi salam did was correct.
Okay, that's interesting.
Do you understand? And also there is another authentic hadith consistent with this verse. Because Quran puts blame for the mess on Qawm Tubba. Tubba is Yemeni people, tribes. Okay. Tubba, do you know what Fir'aun? Fir'aun is the title of the king of Egypt. Yep. Tubba is the title of the king of Yemen.
I see. Okay.
So Quran puts blame on Qawm Tubba, the tribe of the Fir'aun of Yemen. Okay, but not on Tubba himself. Rasulullah says, do not curse, because they used to curse Tubba and his tribe. Rasulullah said, do not curse Tubba because he was Hanifi, noble person, believer. So, but what this comment and what Sahaba used to do is showing us that people had impression that even Tubba is one of them. And then Rasulullah, he said, no, don't touch him. So from here we understand that he was hiding.
I see.
Because look, citizens are animals. Just cut it out of it, do not do not provoke their anger, hatred. So, because after that, you cannot stop it.
So let's say in this country, we have a Muslim mayor of London, Sajid Javed, who is not that practicing Muslim, but his name is Muslim. He's like the second highest office in the country, and I mean, some people are angry, but no one's gonna kill anyone. So if there was like a Muslim prime minister, if his name is Ahmed Khan, it's a very, very Muslim name.
Yeah.
You can't hide the fact that you're Muslim.
Yeah.
But are you saying that he wouldn't necessarily have to go out of his way to show his Muslimness?
Yeah,
he can just be like any other MP.
Exactly.
Get on with his job.
Anything that causes mess, regardless if that mess is social or sectarian, religious or mental, psychological. So anything which causes distress in that area, which may provoke further frictions, bloodshed, you're not allowed to do so.
Okay.
Let's suppose that you are living in this white area, okay, and for example, and they hate Muslims, for example.
Okay.
So as a protection, you have now two options. So if you cannot change the mentality by giving good examples, changing their mind, you have to run away just to save your life, because when you provoke anger, understand, then it's quite difficult to stop.
So let me give you an example. Let's say there are 10% Muslims in this area.
Yeah.
And they want to build a mosque.
Yeah.
And with a minaret or whatever. And the local people, they don't like this. Maybe they find it very strange or threatening that there's a mosque, minaret, there's azan. Would it be better to not build a mosque?
Yes, of course, definitely. Because, just take example from Prophet Harun. Okay, so he did let them worshipping the golden calf. Why did he do so? To avoid the bloodshed. Bloodshed and fitna, okay, it is very big thing, you know.
Preservation of life. Is
definitely, you have to do it. Because, when people are calm, okay, you can sort out the problem. But when they're angry,
it's too late.
It's just gone. Now it is gone. So keep the situation calm.